crafty friends. I am going to start putting together my KCC cards. That's Kendra's card challenge. And I'm going to start with sketch number 1. And I will show you the sketch if I can get a hold of it. This is sketch number 1. And I've got it right here in front of me. So I have all my pieces together, ready to go. And this was not called for, well, a mat was called for, but it she has a plain mat on there, and I like to use one of the printables for background if I can. I'm using Kendra's bonus printables for July. It's very pretty papers, and I chose 6 of the papers and then a couple others that I printed off to use also. So there's my first mat. This is my second mat. And these are all papers that coordinate. If you don't know about Kendra's card challenge, I will have her linked in my video below. She puts out a challenge every quarter and has 15 sketches, and that you can, and then she does a PDF that's free for everybody who subscribes. See, I'm going to do this first. Everyone who subscribes to her channel has access to her free PDF, which is the instructions on how to cut out 6 6x6 sheets of paper. And from those 6 sheets of paper, you put together 15 cards. And I put too much glue on here. That's what I get for talking. And then for those who are paid subscribers, for as little as $5 a month, you have access to her bonus printables every month. Oh, shoot. Got that a little bit crooked, I think. And so that's what I do, is I get her bonus printables, and I love to make the cards from those. So that's what these papers are from her bonus printables. And so I need to cut these excess off of here. I always forget and put the mat down on another mat and then try to put these strips on, and then I have to try to cut them, and that doesn't work too well. So this time I remembered. Okay. So now I'm going to put this on this mat. Okay, and that goes on here just like this. And I did not get a sentiment ready for this one. So I will have to add it later, because I don't want to bog down the process here. So I think that one turned out pretty cute. So that's card number 1. Okay, got card number 2. I've got them all in these, put them in these cellophane pouches. And I think last time I did this, I mentioned that I used to always cut out, you know, like the first paper she calls A, cut out all those pieces are all cut out, and I would put them in an envelope and do that for all 6 of them, and then go by the sketches and take out which pieces out of which envelope goes for each sketch. And I thought I would eliminate one of the steps and just take them off of the paper and put them right into the pouch for whatever sketch they go to, if I'm making any sense. A lot of people do that, and I thought, well, I'll give it a try. Okay, so this one is landscape. This is her sketch that she has for number 2. And again, I forgot to get a sentiment or a piece of ephemera or something to put on this one, so I will do it later, but we will get the basic card ready. Now, what I like about Kendra's cards is that these sketches, what I like about her sketches is you don't have to follow them exactly. I mean, as long as she can tell which sketch you're using, it's okay. And you can make these your own. So, like, she didn't call for pattern paper for either one of these mats, but I'm using it. So that in that way, I'm making it my own. And the only pieces in this sketch for this card were these 2 pieces that were cut out. So all the other strips I made from some of the different papers. So she had plain. For those, she's showing plain. Like, she's got paper A and paper A here, which are these. And the rest of them are just plain. But you can use whatever you want. So that's what I'm doing. So here again, I'm going to use this white paper, and I'm going to put them down let's see, this one goes here. Let's just start gluing them down. It's not exact. I need to turn this around. Pretty much where it goes. You can tell by the sketch, like, which ones are on the bottom. I'm trying to get them parallel as best I can. I think the other one I got a little bit crooked. So then one of these goes down here, goes up to the corner. I believe this one would be next. Okay, kind of in the middle. And then we have a dark one that goes over and goes up to the corner from this one. This is what I'm calling the dark one. It's just one of the different papers. And that goes up to that corner like that. This one goes over these. Okay, so this one will go like that. This piece will go like that. Okay. So that one's down. Put that one there. And that one goes there. Whoops. Just took it right off. All right. So I'm going to cut these off on my cutter. I don't know what the weather's like where you live, but it's getting rather hot here. I live in South Central Montana, and it's been in the 90s this week. And tomorrow it's supposed to be like 101 or 103, and Sunday it's supposed to be like 105. So, yeah, it's going to get warm. And I know for my son, I have a son that lives in Phoenix, and, you know, it's like triple digits there, has been for a while. But he's like, well, Mom, once it gets past, you know, 98 or so, it's all relative. It's still hot. 95 is still hot. 100 is still hot. So, which is true. Now, she calls for something to go right here. I will probably get a sentiment that will go across this way, like that. So there's number 2. That took a little longer than it should have, but anyway. So, on to sketch number 3. And this is sketch number 3. That's so cute. I don't know how she comes up with 15 different sketches every quarter. And the way she works it is every month you can do the 15 sketches, 15 cards. You can take one picture of all of your cards and load them up to her Facebook channel. And now I'm putting a mat under this. Her sketch does not call for that, but I like to put mats. I think I have one card that I did not do a mat, and I think that's the very last one. Okay, so there's the mat. So then we start out with A, and we end with A. So then we have B, and I didn't want to glue that down quite yet. I want to make sure. So there's A, B. B is supposed to come down a little bit. And then we have C. D comes down, E, well, there's B right there in front of my face. Okay, figures. F, and we end with A. So we need to scoot all these over just a little bit. This one will come down a little bit. And C. Okay. Paper D. E. This paper's so cute. It's got little bees on it. All of these papers are just really cute. I love them. Okay, then we have F. We have A again. Okay, well, oh, look at that. I came out pretty good on those margins on the side. And I was just eyeballing that, but I try to put them on there so that I can get an idea, you know, of what I want to do. Okay, and then this piece goes across like this. And then you put something on top, and I thought I had something, but I don't know what I did with it. So I'm going to glue this on because I know that this is what I wanted to put across here. Okay. And then I will put something on there, a sentiment or, you know, a cutout or something I will put right there. Okay, so there's card number 3. Very cute. Okay, and let's see, I need, let's see, here's number 4, pretty easy. And this one is landscape also. Now, any of these that she has landscape or vertical, if you want to turn them, you can. You know, like I said, you can make these your own. And she has several ways you can enter your cards to win prizes. And she gives away amazing prizes at the end of every quarter or every month from wonderful sponsors that she has. You know, stamp sets, ephemera, packs, you name it. So, yeah, it's worth it to go through it. And so there's my mat. She called for an embossed piece next, so this is my embossed layer. And I think this is a Doris embossing folder pattern. Daisies, kind of like daisies. I really like it. I think you can tell. Okay, and then these two pieces. She has mats behind these, but I'm not putting mats. I tried putting like white mats behind them, and I didn't really like it, so I'm just going to put them on here like this. Okay, so we'll get those glued down. So anyway, you can enter to win prizes on her website, and then she has a code that you can scan, and it's called InLinks, and you would load up your picture of your cards on that also, and you have another way that you can win prizes through that. And then also you can take individual pictures of all of your cards and enter them individually on her site. And it's a little off center, but that's okay, because I will put something on there to balance it out. Probably some bling. Okay, so then this goes on here like that, and that turned out pretty cute. And so I think what I'll do is use some flat back pearls and put on here. Maybe these yellow ones, I think those would show up pretty cool. We'll do 3 of them. I like to do odd numbers. Okay, so we'll just put these on here like we know what we're doing. I thought I had all this stuff ready, but apparently I didn't. Okay, so that's not my picker-upper. Where is it? Oops. I have a craft-a-lanche. Do you guys ever have that problem? Okay, let's try using this one. Whoops. Well, that didn't work. It went right on the floor. Boom. Boom. And I'm not going to try and look for it right now. So yeah, I get a craft-a-lanche because you should see the peripheral around my desk. I try to clean up between projects, but I don't always get everything off, you know, so there's that too. Okay, so there we go. There's card number 4. I think that turned out very sweet. Oh, forgot to... Yeesh, Vickie. I've already had a long day today, folks, so... Sorry. Oh, let's get this glued down, okay? Because then we don't want it falling off. There we go. There, that's better. No falling off. Okay, very nice card. Okay, so let's move on to number 5. Okay. Cut out in here. Okay, so sketch number 5 looks like this. It's got all these little half circles on here. This is the one I did not use a mat on, okay? So we're starting out with paper B. Then with C. Now the paper B kind of has sticky on it from the mat I used to cut these out on my Cricut. This is D, let's see, D. And we have E. Okay, and I think that's pretty close. So we'll go ahead and glue these down. I had written on the back of these because when you take them out and put them in your envelopes for your sketches, unless you have a photographic memory, which I do not, you forget which papers went with, you know, A, B, C, D, E, or F. Until you start using them for a while. Now I pretty much have them memorized a bit. But my memory isn't the best. So there's that. So anyway. Okay, so there you go. So now we'll put a piece across the bottom, just right over the edge of these. This is paper A. Okay, and that's just going to go right over the top of these. And then just, you know, right across the bottom. Like that. And then we match up these half circles with the strip above. Just like that. This is a pretty cute sketch. And let's see, this one. So it kind of gives the illusion that they're coming underneath the paper. Very cute. And then she was showing a circle. So I just cut the larger circle underneath of white. And then this circle I cut in a scalloped design. Scalloped, cut out, die cut. So, okay, and I think I'm going to put this one up on dimensional. I think I have room for a couple on here. And it needs a sentiment, but I did not get a sentiment prepared for this. But she's showing this going like about here, so I'm going to put that on. I could still do a sentiment down here or just put one right here. And that would work just fine. So there's sketch number 5. We're moving right along. Okay, so here is sketch number 6. Try not to get these cellophane bags in the camera because they have a glare and not pleasant to look at. Okay, so this sketch number 6, pretty easy. This does not have a mat either, because what she did is put this kind of down as a half mat, and then you have this piece that goes underneath and peeks out from underneath like that. Okay, and then we'll put this up here. Now she had something else down here, and I didn't get that. I missed that when I was looking at that. But this is a little sentiment, so I'm gonna put it here. I think what I was gonna do is put some. She's showing to put three little half pearls or something like that across this way. But since I'm not putting anything here, I think I'll just go ahead and put pearls down like this. So, okay, let's get these down. Before I press that edge all the way down, I'm going to glue this, get it under there. Like that. Okay. And I just cut a larger scallop out of this paper, and then cut one of her sentiments out of my 2-inch circle. So this is 2 inch, this is 2.5. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this one down. Like that. Really cute. Okay, then I think over here, I think I'm going to go ahead and use the same color. That works. And I will put them kind of like that to kind of balance it out a little bit. So 1, 2, 3. You want to turn over here. I got one under my fingernail. Yeah, get them straight. Okay, there we go. And that is card number 6. Right? Yeah, number 6. All right, let's do one more. And then we will be like just about halfway through. This one's fairly easy too. And, okay, so that was number 6. This is number 7. Pretty easy. Okay, so here's my first mat. I love these papers. They're so bright and cheerful and lots of fun. Very colorful. Okay. Then I'm putting a white mat down again. Right there in the middle. Okay. And then these pieces are going to go like this. You want to make sure you're kind of getting even borders there and there. And then this is going to go in the middle. Okay. So we'll start with this. I like that I had a little sticky on the back of these, and it's from one of the mats, like I said, that I used on my Cricut. It's a little stickier than the other one, so it left a little residue on the back, which is fine because it kind of helps stick them in place till I figure out what I'm doing. Okay, there's that one. And we got that one. My cutter, I think I need to put a new blade in it because it's starting to make my edges of my paper rough, and I do not like that. I have a little, it's like a nail thing you get at a salon. This little cube thing. It's got sandpaper on it, so I use that when I need to get rid of the scrappy edges. Okay, so now I've got this sentiment here, and I'm just going to glue this. I'm not going to put it on dimensionals. Make sure I get that straight. Very cute. And we could add a little bling on here too. And I'm wondering what it would look. We could put like a couple down in one corner. And then 3 of them over here. You know, like I said, I just use odd numbers when I'm doing bling and stuff like that. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think that's cute. It adds to it. And of course, these are going to turn over on me. Every time. And I dropped it again. Today's been one of those dropsy days for me. Do you ever have those? Kind of frustrating. Anyway, we got 1, 2, 3. One, 2. This little picker-upper I got from Trinity Stamps. And it says Riley and Company. Maybe that's where it was from, but I think I also had one from Trinity, and because I had 2, I gave one to my friend. Okay, there you go. That's card number 7, and I think we will end the video here. Let me know what you think. This is so fun. And you know, when you're done with this, once you get all your everything organized, they just zip right together. And you've got 15 cards. And so yeah, very pretty. So this was card number 7. There's 6, 5. I don't know if yeah, 5. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very cute. All right, thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know what you think, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.